Good morning, students. We have been reading The Selfish Giant. The first part we have already read. We read that there was a beautiful garden of a giant where all children loved to play. They were very happy playing there. Then the giant comes back after 7 years and he was not happy children playing there, so he built a high wall around the garden and also put a notice board that trespassers will be prosecuted. Now the children were very sad, they had no other place to play. Now, because there were no children, so spring did not come into the giant's garden. Neither the birds came to sing. Now, still there was winters, only snow, frost, north wind, and hail. These were very happy because they enjoyed winter. So now all over in the garden it's always winter. There was snow, there was frost, there was north wind, and there was hail. All were enjoying dancing the whole day. At last we read the giant was still hoping for the spring to come, and then he heard a beautiful song of a bird. Then a beautiful delicious perfume came and he thought perhaps the spring has come at last, and she got out of the bed to check out at his garden. Now let's read the second part. Now when he saw outside, he looked at his garden, he saw a most wonderful sight. Through a little hole in the wall the children had crept in. Children came in. There was a hole in the wall, and from that hole the children had come in, and they were sitting in the branches of trees. In every tree that he could see there were little child. There was a little child, and the tree were so glad, so happy that children were back again, and that they had covered themselves with blossoms. The trees now started blossoming, and then they were waving their arms gently above the children's head, those trees. The birds were flying about and twittering with delight. The birds were chirping, twittering happily with joy, and the flowers were looking up through the green grass and laughing. So it was a lovely scene he saw. Only in one corner it was still winter. As the children came back into the garden, the spring came, but there was one corner of the garden where it was still winter. It was the farthest corner of the garden, and in it there was a little boy standing. He was so small that he could not reach up to the branches of the tree. His arms were very small, so he was not able to climb up the tree. And he was wandering all around it and crying bitterly. So little child it was, not able to climb up, so he was crying. The poor tree was still covered with frost and snow. As the child was not on the tree, so the tree also was still covered with snow and frost. And the north wind was blowing and roaring above that tree. Climb up, little boy, said the tree, and it bent its branches down as low as it could, but the boy was still not able. It was so small, too tiny. And the giant's heart melted as he looked out. When the giant saw this, his heart also changed. How selfish I have been, he said. Now I know why the spring would not come here. I will put that poor little boy on the top of the tree, and then I will knock down the wall, and my garden shall be the children's playground forever and ever. Now he decided, his heart changed. He realized his mistake, how selfish he was. So he decides to break that wall, to knock it down, and he decided to help that little boy to climb up the tree. He was really very sorry for what he had done. So he crept downstairs quietly. He came down, opened the front door quite softly, and went out into the garden. But when the children saw him, they were so frightened that they all ran away. All children saw a giant was coming, so they were scared. They ran away, and the garden became winter again. As soon as the children went out of garden, the garden again became winter. Only the little boy did not run. The little boy did not run because his eyes were so full of tears that he did not see the giant coming. He was crying, his eyes were full of tears, so he was not able to see that giant was coming. So he was still there, and the giant stole up behind him, quietly reached behind him and took him gently in his hands and put him into the tree. And the tree broke at once into blossom. At once the tree started blossoming. There were beautiful blossoms on the tree, and the birds came and sang on it. And the little boy stretched out his two arms and flung them around the giant's neck and kissed him. The little boy was so happy that he hugged the little giant and kissed him. And the other children, when they saw that the giant was not wicked anymore, is not uh, cruel anymore, not rude anymore, so they also came running, and with them came the spring. When children came back, the spring also came back. It is your garden now, little children, said the giant. And he took a great axe and knocked down the wall. With the help of the axe, he broke that wall down. And when the people were going to market at 12 o'clock, they found the giant playing with the children in the most beautiful garden they had ever seen. Now everybody could see the giant was also playing with the children in the beautiful garden. All day long they played, and in the evening they came to the giant to bid him goodbye, to say goodbye to him. All children came back to the giant. But where is your little companion? He said. He asked, where is that little boy? That boy, the boy I put into the tree. The giant loved him the best because he had kissed him, but that little boy was not there with the other children. So he asked, where is he? We don't know, answered the children. He has gone away. You must tell him to be sure and come tomorrow, said the giant. The giant told the children to tell that little boy to come tomorrow again. But the children said that they did not know where he lived and had never seen him before. And the giant felt very sad. The children did not know about that little boy, who is he, where he lives. Now every afternoon when school was over, the children came and played with the giant. But the little boy whom the giant loved was never seen again. He did not come again. The giant was very kind to all the children, yet he longed for his little friend. He wanted that his little friend also to come, and he would talk about him often. He would often spoke of him, how I would like to see him, he used to say. Years went by, and the giant grew very old and feeble. Now the giant was old, feeble, weak. He could not play about anymore with the children, so he sat in a huge armchair and watched the children at their game and admired his garden. Now he would only sit on the chair and watch the other children to play in his garden. I have many beautiful flowers, he said, but the children are the most beautiful flowers of all. One winter morning he looked out of his window as he was dressing. He did not hate the winter now, for he knew that it was merely the spring asleep and that the flowers were resting. Now in the winter also he was not sad, because he knew that after winter spring will come. During the winter spring is sleeping, the flowers are also resting. Suddenly he rubbed his eyes in wonder and looked and looked. Suddenly something he saw. He was surprised. It certainly was a marvelous sight. What he saw in the farthest corner of the garden was a tree quite covered with lovely white blossoms. Its branches were golden and silver fruit hung down from them, and underneath it stood the little boy he had loved. He saw that little boy was there standing under the tree. Downstairs ran the giant in great joy. So happily he quickly ran out and out into the garden. He hastened across the grass very quickly. He crossed and came near to the child. And when he came quite close, his face grew red with anger. When he saw the child, suddenly he became angry. Why? And he said, "Who had dared to wound thee?" Some ancient English words are used here. Hath means who had dared to wound thee. Thee means you, means who had wounded you, who had injured you. He saw some wounds, some injury marks on his face. So showing that he was so angry. He asked who had dared to wound you, means who dared to injure you. Because on the palms of the child hands were the prints of two nails, and the prints of two nails were on the little feet also. Who had dared to wound thee? Cried the child. Tell me, that I may take my big sword and slay him. I will cut his head down if you tell me who had done this to you. Nay, answered the child, means no. But these are the wounds of love. Don't worry. These are, nobody had hurt me. These are only the wounds of love. Who are you? Means who are you? Said the giant. And a strange awe fell on him, and he knelt before the child, little child. Suddenly he felt something very different, something very divine, and he knelt before the child, kneeling on the knees, bent down on the ground before the child. And the little child smiled on the giant and said to him, "You let me play once in your garden. Today you shall come with me to my garden, which is paradise. Once you let me play in your garden, now it's my time. You shall come with me to my garden, and my garden is in paradise, is in heaven." And when the children ran in that afternoon, they found the giant lying dead under the tree, all covered with white blossoms. Now you can imagine who might that little child be. So, as we can guess, he was a little angel of God who had come from the heavens. Now the time had come of the giant to go from this world, the time to die. So that little angel had come back to take him with him to the garden of paradise, to the heavens. So this is the story. It's over now, and we shall be doing the question answer after that. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you. Bye bye.